Spider, everybody really liked that photo of you, but they want to see more.
Hey, I'm on deadline. Why don't you just take them out back and show them my bike collection?
EasyRiders, motorcycles, rodeo, rock and roll, and away we go.
What originally got me going on building a flathead was a friend of mine. I helped him with his flathead, and the power really impressed me. So I came across the motor for sale for $500 with a title. I bought that, and then by going to swap meets and friends, accumulated the parts over a period of 2 years. The dragons are hand forged. They're out of steel. And actually, dragons like that were done in the Middle Ages by blacksmiths. They used to use them on armor and so on. The dragon that's on the handlebars, which is my first forged piece that I had ever done, was done about 10 years ago. And I had it sitting on a wood stove, coiled up, just sitting there like in a traditional dragon stance. And after I built the bike, I decided to redo that and put it on the handlebars. And that got me going with adding the rest of the dragons. Basically, I've been adding one a year since the bike's been on the road. In the 70s, I threw together a bike for going to Daytona. And since the bike kind of looked ratty looking at that time, I put the name Nose Picker on that bike. And I stayed in Florida for a month. And from people's reaction and so on, I had a real blast with this bike down there. But I came back and I didn't want to be known by Nose Picker. The way the name Giant Quill came about is I more or less put it on as a goof to start with, and then I just figured I would become Giant Quill, and I did.
Bean Blossom Boogie, a biker party dedicated to the freedom of having a good time.
I'm from Waverly, Ohio. It's about 60 miles south of Columbus. All my family, we've all rode Harleys all my life. I have a 1963 Sportster. There's about 30 different models on her. Just a piece here and a piece there. It's got hog shocks on the back. It lowered it an inch in the back. It's got like a 68 rear fender, 68 oil tank, 81 Sturgis front fender off a wreck that I did, 71, 72, 70 front end, just pieced together. It's got a 75 key and carb, got a 70 model distributor. I changed it from a mag, put a distributor on it, and run the battery. I got a Sifton Barracuda set of cams in it. I did all the polishing myself on the thing. Brown's done a lot of my chroming. Well, Brown's did most of my chroming. A lot of it I just bought aftermarket accessories through my shop. Been riding since I was about, probably about 9 years old. 31 now, so that's a good long time. And had an old Harley three-wheeler. Learned to ride on that real good. Rode that all over the place. The last time I painted it, it was black cherry, and I wanted to stay with something like this. It's got a cherry flip-flop in it. I've always liked the color cherry flip-flop. It's got a black look onto it. You see it in the sun, it's got a real deep red look. Really looks good. I had to, since it's a 52 frame and a 63 engine, you can't get the engine in the frame without taking the rear head off. And I had to cut the top rocker bolt, had to cut it down just so it would go in the frame. I had to cut the back where the engine fits in the swing arm. I had to grind it out about 1/4 of an inch just to make this engine work. I got 5 brothers, and all of them but one's got Harleys. My other brother, the only one that doesn't have a Harley, he walks.
The 49th Black Hills Motorcycle Classic. 70,000 people showed up to this party from all over the world. Downtown Sturgis, a party day and night. Don't forget Deadwood. Back to the campground, kick back, take a break, enjoy the beautiful weather and all them Harleys. Buffalo Chip Campground, a Bear Butt Rendezvous. On the road again, we'll see you back here in 1990 for the 50th annual Black Hills Motor Classic.
Come on in, I got something to show you here that I've been working on. This is like a convertible where you can either have this six-pack carrier just mounted on here, a couple bungee cords. Then there's a P-pad that goes on here. You can run it with or without. And this slides in and out for if you're going to Sturgis or wherever. Put this on for your roll. And then we build a belt guard. It's got a 3-inch belt with foot peg included.
where the carrier's matching to this one as far as in design. I never owned a three-wheeler before, and so I decided I might as well build one. So I got the rear end and made the subframe, which aligns the engine with the rear end itself. And then after I got into it a while, I decided to call it Trilogy. That's when I started three of whatever, whether it be headlights or fenders or the top tank is like my reserve gas. This is my main running tank, and the bottom tank is the oil. Front end I had flame cut, and as long as you took an imaginary line here, the front end doesn't know that it's scalloping along. Kind of the problem with this bike is it gets so many looks from everybody. I mean, it can be old ladies, little kids, don't have to be a biker. They just are in awe, and they're coming down, you know, if I'm riding down an expressway or something, they're gawking, and before you know it, I'm on the shoulder. Other than that, it goes down the road fine. As far as art and motorcycles, it was around when I was 18. I started out customizing bikes for friends. It was a situation where I did bikes for friends and then friends of friends, and I got to the point where I'd only go to work a couple days a week, and then I'd stay home in my garage and work on bikes. So at that point, I was just driving to work one day and made a U-turn when I got halfway there and says, that's it.
Talking about earlier, the way you look at something and you can tell what you want to do with it.
Well, basically, I think it's a situation where I look at something and I like it to flow. And to get that flow, I achieve that by the shape of the piece that flows into the piece next to it. Approximately 20 years ago, a guy walked in the old shop and said, "Money's no object, build me a motorcycle." Well, I didn't believe him. There's no such thing as money's no object. So we started on the bike, had about 2,500 into it. And then at that point I realized, well, literally, money basically was not no object. So at that point we started detailing it as far as all these little axes. And the name of the bike was Holden's Axle.
What the hell is that, Ron?
That's my exhaust fan.
Where'd you get it?
Well, I kind of borrowed it from the city of Detroit. We used to sit on a 55-gallon thing down in the park.
Ron, I've heard this called the Whirl of Wheels, all kinds of things. What is it and what's its purpose?
Well, it's my mini dome. Nice place to come out on the patio and have a little barbecue, sit around the picnic table, fry up a couple steaks. But actually, mostly it's burgers. But eventually I'm going to close in the top. It's a matter of collecting stuff to be able to do it. At that point, I'm going to put a parachute over it so I have a little shade. This is my piston garden. They're going to be growing up to be strokers here before long. I was at the swap meet, and this guy says, "I'd take $100 for this shit just so that I didn't have to load it." So, $100 right there. I got boxes and boxes of pistons, Sportster parts, clutches. Tripled my money on it. Can't be all bad. Not bragging, but I've did every type of paint that there is. And usually what happens is the customer will come in and they'll want something in, say, a red. Okay, and they'll give me some idea of how they want the design. But then basically it's left up to me. And at that point, I tint colors, tone them to go with the base color. different hues.
Do you have a conflict between being an artist and being a businessman?
Yes, I do. I don't really like the business part of it. It's a situation where it clutters my mind with business nature type things, which I would much rather just be working in the back room, either in the paint room, painting, or doing a metal sculpture, or something that doesn't clutter my mind. But the fact of it is, I've got to survive, and that's the only way I can be a survivor, is to put up with it a bit.
This one here, bought it in pieces about 5 years ago. It's been up and down. Anybody that's ever built one knows what I'm talking about. It's just now back together again for the 5th time. It gets down every year, almost. It's a kind of a funny thing. It used to be 1947 knuckle. There's not much left of it other than the cases and the shells of the heads, and everything else is aftermarket. It's a crowd pleaser. Kind of an underlying motive to put the thing together was to eat rice from stoplight to stoplight, and it does it rather well. If you live with that old girl and got as many blood, sweat, and tears in it as I've got, you have to stop and think about that name a little bit. She's almost all iron, and she's my mistress. She takes all my money and dictates pretty much what I do everywhere I go. That's why the name on that motorcycle. Prettiest motorcycle in town, ridden by the ugliest dude in the county.
The road is a killer, but you know It makes you a slave in the long run. It takes your body, soul, and your mind out on the road. On the road.
What we decided to do here was to take a lovely lady in a natural setting, shining motorcycles at the local hog shop, and gauge the reaction of the passers-by watching her do her job so well with 2 hidden cameras. Here comes a guy with a serious mechanical problem.
The other one hasn't been down yet.
Look how this guy is careful not to look. It might be the boss's old lady.
No, just polishing bikes.
Here comes 2 guys that want to inquire about a Sportster. Can they keep their mind on the subject?
Hi.
Hi.
Ooh. Can I help you with something?
Yeah, I want to buy a bike.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Micah?
Hey, good. How's it going?
Check out that sideways glass. Notice how cool he's trying to be?
And I got a late model.
Pick up my motorcycle.
Cool.
Here comes a guy who has a wrenching problem.
Polishing.
Can he remember what he came for?
Yeah, we got to keep busy around here.
Oh, what a nice surprise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Check the expressions on this man's face.
Hi.
Wow. How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Okay. Yeah, that's shocking.
What, the bike?
Yeah.
Oh, me being naked?
Yeah, I was not expecting present. Nice though, don't get me wrong.
Oh, thanks.
The bike.
Oh, excuse me.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Here comes the delivery man.
That's a red.
Have mercy!
Is that a red?
Lord, have mercy. Don't touch on me like this, girl. Oh, my God.
Is that a red label you got for me?
Now, wait a minute. I'll tell you what. Let me give you my keys, baby. I'm going to stay right here. Huh? All right. Oh, thank you, man. You're awesome. Yes, indeed.
In 1970, brothers began returning home from Vietnam. 20 years later, bikers like Ray Manzo, Jim Gregory, and Artie Mueller, the organizers of the second annual Run to the Wall, are still fighting for accountability of the Vietnam MIAs and POWs who are still there. In May of this year, 30,000 riders let the country know how they feel. Thanks to the efforts of promoters of 8 organizations nationwide and the Vietnam Vets Motorcycle Club and thousands of independent riders, this pack, 4 abreast, brought the cause to national attention. This was a proud demonstration by proud men, and each year they make their voice stronger, for only together can we bring our brothers home.
My motorcycle was a 56 Hydra-Glide, which I bought from the original owner. And the only way I found out about it is the old man I work with. I was good friends with this guy. He said he's ready to sell it and wanted to sell it to somebody who wanted to take real good care of it. So I think I'm doing a good job. The old man had quit riding it since 1969, and I've had it for 5 years now, and he had it pushed in his garage, taking real good care of it since 1969, and it was relatively decent shape when I went and bought it. Yeah, I have restored basically everything that there is to restore on everything. Everything has had major attention, whether it needed it or not. I had to buy a new trumpet horn for it one time, and I could not find it anywhere besides the swap meet. Had to pay big bucks for it, but I really haven't had to replace that many things on it. It was all relatively fresh, but I just had to redo everything. The bags that I've got on there right now are aftermarket bags, but they are identical. I've got the original bags for it. They are identical to what the original bags were. The stock ones had a Harley bar and shield on it, and those don't, but that's about the only thing. They're identical measurements and everything. Whenever I ride anywhere, I like riding that bike just for the attention of it, because guys 65 years old, 50 years old, 20 years old, whatever, a lot of people think it's a new bike just because it's pretty and shiny and all that, and the old guys, they'll come up and I think I've had one like it one time before. That's one of the second bike I bought or whatever. It's quite neat. It's a conversation piece, really.
By just adding here right now, we'll put them on the ground. So
miles is coming backwards. Kilo is in that last 5/8.
Clutch in. Bring it.
Shut down. Ten.
You all right, Dave? Yeah, I'm fine. Surprised to stay there real early. I know. You went zap, zap, zap through the gears. Yeah, they went real quick. Real strong. Every gear was 65. Now they're too low. Too low. Their motor was talking, Dave. Yeah.